18 minutes past 8 is the time. Good morning to you. Now, following his kidney failure diagnosis in 2018, DJ Ace from BBC Radio 1 Extra was warned it could take up to 6 years to find a suitable donor because of his ethnicity.
In 2021, he was successfully matched with his donor, Naomi, and has now set up a campaign to help others who are waiting for life-saving transplants.
It comes after the NHS recently called for more organ donors of Black and Asian heritage. Graham Satchell has more.
This is Radio 1 Extra's DJ Ace.
Yes, what's going on? It's your boy Ace, heavyweight champion of radio, Mr. 10K, and we are in the building all of the way until 1 o'clock. Coming up on today's show,
Ace was told in 2018 that one of his kidneys had stopped working.
To play, and we'll be talking to Damon. To hear that I had kidney or renal failure was quite shocking. All I wanted to know is, like, how do I stop it? How do I reverse it? And to hear that the only solution was a kidney transplant was, yeah, quite harrowing. There's black people that don't need to be sitting in dialysis beds.
A new social media campaign starts today called We For Us UK.
Long and short of it is that I need a kidney, but then you still have the disadvantage because there aren't enough kidneys to match people of colour.
It tells the stories of black and minority ethnic people waiting for a kidney transplant.
And they said, yeah, you know, you're going to need a transplant. I remember I was sitting there with like my crunchy nut cornflakes and they were just like, yeah, no, it's not good news.
Ace is on his way to a dialysis unit, part of the Royal Free Hospital in London.
How are you finding dialysis? For me, the first 2 years were difficult, but the last year for me, the year number 3 was the hardest.
Oh, it's very tiring, very frustrating, but I'm going to do it.
Most kidney patients will have dialysis 3 times a week. Each session can take 4 or 5 hours. It can be a debilitating process.
At the beginning, it was very, very worrying and quite stressful, if I'm honest. It really took a toll on my mental health and how I felt about myself and my situation. Like year 3, I think, was the most difficult for me.
Ace began to realise there were more black and Asian people in the dialysis unit than white people, and that they stayed longer.
I would go to dialysis and me and 3 other Asian people would sit in one section and we were just looking at each other for months and months on end. And our white counterparts would come in, they'd be there for like 2 or 3 months and they'd be in and out.
My youngest is 9 years old, my youngest child, and I want to be knocking about with her
100%,
for the longest time.
Right. So. It was frustrating. It was like, why is this happening? Why are we sitting here looking at each other when other people that obviously don't have the same skin complexion or are not from our background are able to just come in, have their treatment for 3 or 4 months and then get that transplant and go.
How do we get people from ethnic minorities, yes, to have more living kidney transplants? One-to-one.
Ace is meeting Kirit Modi from the Jain and Hindu Organ Donation Alliance.
Why are the black and Asian communities so bad at talking about donation? And why is it such a taboo subject within our community?
If you look at all the reasons, the main barrier is that there isn't enough discussion and awareness about this issue. My experience is that the vast majority of people, after having engaged in those conversations, will support organ donation.
The conversations that need to have are around why there's this stigma about organ donation within our community, and it could be religious, it could be just a lack of trust, it could be old wives' tales, but no one should be listening to information or old urban myths from years ago. We shouldn't be using really rubbish excuses for not helping out people that look like us that are waiting for organs.
Ace and his match, who was found, who is Naomi, are both here now. Very good morning to you both.
After waiting more than 3 years, Ace received a new kidney from a live donor, Naomi. They appeared together on BBC Breakfast last year.
Very, very good, yeah.
I know what I've done and I understand the benefits of it. That's why I've done it. And I'm just grateful that we're both really healthy and well.
She's amazing. That's my twin. We talk all the time. I love her with all my heart. She's given me a second chance to do things that I wasn't able to do before. She's released me from the shackles of dialysis. She's an amazing person.
I can't put into words the way I feel about my donor's family.
The We For Us campaign puts names and faces to people waiting for a transplant and those who've had treatment.
Cannot thank them enough for giving me a second chance at life.
It's about us, we helping us, and I'd love everybody's support to go in there and check out some of the faces and the people that you could be helping if you just did a little bit more in regards to organ donation.
So that was Graham Satchell reporting. Joining us on the sofa this morning, Leroy Coppen, who is living with kidney failure, and Orin Lewis, who is co-founder of ACLT, the African Caribbean Leukemia Trust. Very good morning to both of you.
Good morning. Good morning.
Leroy, bring us up to date with your situation. So where are you now exactly?
I've been doing dialysis now for about 3 years, coming on 4 years. Trying to battle the blood pressure and stuff at the minute to get myself on the list.
So you need, just so people understand, you need a kidney transplant.
Yes, I do.
But as it stands right now, you can't go on the transplant list because you're not ready for it in relation to other things, health-wise.
Right. Yes, correct.
Just take us through what that means.
Well, it just basically means that I can't get a kidney just yet because of other health issues. Like I said, it's been a struggle.
So while you wait, when you were first diagnosed, I think it was around when you were 40, sorry for exposing your age.
That's right.
It's fine. So about 3-4 years ago, right? What were you told as a black man about needing a transplant and the likelihood of you getting a matched organ?
Well, I was just told that, that I had the kidney disease. My kidneys were working at 25% each. They could slow down the process and whatnot. There was nothing said to me about the struggle. I've only picked up this information on the journey, like dealing with this. So, like I said, there was nothing ever said to me about struggling to get kidneys as a black person.
And Orin, we heard from DJ Ace there, and he's been very vocal, thank goodness, about kind of the issues and spoken about the issues in certain communities, be they old wives' tales, be they cultural, religious issues, or fear of the system. Is there enough effort being put into kind of making sure that these communities, black and Asian communities, are more aware of the importance of donating?
There is a lot of work going on, awareness campaigns, as you're showing just now. This interview, Ace himself, who was in the same situation as Leroy, when myself and Beverly, my wife, spoke to Ace about this, to get him going public. There's a lot of work. There's NHS Blood and Transplant and organizations like ours going out doing a lot of community investment work, projects, talking about it in churches, in the mosque, social media, mainstream media, face-to-face, in schools, education is key. So there's a lot of awareness going on at the moment.
Has that translated into a spike in donations or at least sign-ups?
It is going forward in the right direction, but too slowly. And too slowly in relative to the fact that the latest report that's just come out, which I've co-signed the foreword, has highlighted that most ethnic minorities get their organs from white people who just happen to match them, which is great. It's 80 to 90%, but race is a key factor on this.
Orin, when you have those conversations, I don't know whether they're one-on-one conversations with people, and you're saying, this is a situation, it can be improved if more people come forward. Is there a common theme as to why people say they don't or they're reluctant to? Where does that lie?
It is a combination of the things that you and Naga talked about just now. Myths and fears and taboos, religious, cultural barriers. We don't do this in our community, in our culture, but we actually do. So it's a matter of having that conversation, because the consent rate for ethnic minorities is only 40% in comparison to 71% for their white counterparts. Even though something like 60% of ethnic minorities will say, yes, I will consider organ donation. But then when it comes to the actual family saying, consenting, it doesn't happen. And so it's causing a problem. The conversation's not being had. The family didn't realize that their loved one carried an organ donor card. People don't realize that living organ donation is an option. Naomi is a living donor for ACE. These options are there, so the conversation needs to happen on a bigger scale.
I wonder, Leroy, what, you know, you're here with us now. What would be your message to someone who's hearing this and thinking, do you know, I'm still not sure, I'm not convinced. What would you be saying?
My message would be to do the research, get the information you need, yeah, and seriously consider it. You know, save someone's life, save somebody's life.
Because there could be someone, you know, watching this program now,
yeah,
who could match someone like you. Even you, there'll be a time when you need that.
Yeah.
And someone needs to step forward.
100%.
It can be done because, you know, when my son needed help in his battle against blood cancer, needing blood donation, needed an organ transplant in the end, but he wasn't strong enough. He, you know, Daniel helped to raise the awareness for more black people to help each other. And so it can be done. We have shown that, you know, ethnic minorities will come forward. We're having to put stronger messages out than before. It's working. And so we want more people to stay opted in rather than the 13,000 that have been opting out. We need to change that balance and to bring the level of those on the waiting list down. Mm-hmm. And for me, the quotation I like to quote is the quotation of a mother of a 21-year-old Muslim girl who died tragically, but was part of the organ donor register. And her mother said, saving lives is more important than burying healthy organs or incinerating healthy organs. And for me, that's powerful. And for us, as black people, we just say to our community, Black Lives Matter, let's prove it. It's up to us.
And Daniel, you mentioned, is the living proof, yeah?
Is the living proof, yeah. Lives can be saved by people coming forward and saving lives. Yeah.
It's a good message. Leroy, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming on the sofa. And Orin, it's good to talk to you again. Thank you.
Pleasure.